Hello everybody, Captain Marty here on Friday, August the 1st. We're starting out a brand new month on the Outer Banks. Got some good offshore fishing to talk about. Got a little bit of good backcountry fishing to talk about. And we'll do all that. We'll paint you a little picture when I come back in just a moment. Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on WikiTune Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits.
Electricity, something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on.
So we always do a big circle. We start in Hatteras, we loop around up to Oregon Inlet, then we handle the piers and the surf, and then we end up back in the backcountry, behind the island, back in the Pamlico. So we start with Hatteras, good catches of bail or dolphin, mostly for those folks down there, and not a hog killing, but good catches. And most everybody had some dolphin. There's been a few wahoo, including some 60-pounders caught. The wahoo's that long, skinny blue and silver fish. Supposedly, I was always told the fastest fish in the ocean. But I'd like to know who put the stopwatch on him. But anyway, wahoo are really, in my mind, they're a little different taste-wise. They're kind of rich. They remind me a little bit of swordfish. But people that tell me they're far better than swordfish. So it's funny because swordfish gets a lot of press, especially in restaurants. But the wahoo, really good. You got to be really careful because they got a mouthful of teeth that don't look very threatening, but they will slice you like a razor blade. I know from experience. So anyway, a few blackfin tuna in the catches down there. And their inshore fleet I haven't been hearing much out of. They were doing pretty good on some Spanish mackerel, a scattered king, and then they were doing a little wreck fishing for groupers, vermilion snappers, and amberjack. So that's what's happening in Hatteras. The Oregon Inlet Fleet had a surprisingly good day yesterday on yellowfin tuna to be the last day of July, to be probably the offest of off-season dates. You could pick to want to catch yellowfin tuna, and several boats had 12 to 16 yellowfin tunas, and they were nice ones. They also have been catching the mahi or dolphin. That's not a guarantee, but mostly everybody's been finding them, and there has been some gaffers mixed in, meaning the bigger size. So we got that going on, and then around the inlet for them, they're really doing whatever they find the opportunity to catch. And some stuff is not there on a daily basis, but what is pretty much on a daily basis is Spanish mackerel and them chasing around these schools of big drum. Pretty exciting. So gotta let the drum go, but you do get the Spanish to eat. They've also been catching ribbon fish, and they also are doing some bottom fishing for sea bass, groupers, and tile fish. So both of our fleets, Hatteras and Oregon Inlet, are doing well. Ocracoke, I don't often talk about because I don't really have a great source down there, but it's almost always identical to Hatteras. And I'm going to tell you, there are some really good captains out of Ocracoke. If you're down there and want to give it a trial, it's not hard to find them. They're right there in the harbor in Silver Lake, and you can go just find out what it's all about. Pier and surf fishing remains kind of scrappy with some bright spots in it. Jeanette's Pier had a temperature of 81 degrees yesterday, and it said they came down to 81 degrees. I didn't realize it had gotten that much hotter with the way the wind was. But anyway, Spanish mackerel, there was a small cobia caught there. But whether you're on the beach or whether you're on a pier, it's same old, same old. It's what people love about pier fishing. It's just a summertime pick. You don't have to have a 12-foot heavy heaver to go off the end of the pier and try to catch a big drum. You just get a 7.5 foot spinning reel with 10-pound test line. You catch Spanish mackerel and bluefish on top. And then if you want to put some bait and go down the bottom, you can also catch bluefish like that. But you got your big three. the trifecta: spot, croaker, and sea mullet. And then if you're lucky, every once in a while you're going to catch a puppy drum. You might catch a black drum or a sheephead. There's been quite a few flounder being caught, but they, as I understand it, the season is still closed on those. So the pier fishing, again, I say it a lot, almost every report, is a fishing that requires you to be there at daylight if you're serious about it. And when I say daylight, I don't mean when the sun breaks. I mean when the sky turns the first shade of pink is when you need to be on that pier fishing, or in the surf, either way. All right, we'll take a little break. I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about some fishing in the Sound and in the backcountry.
Red Drum Tackle in Buxton is the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras. And being the closest tackle shop to Cape Point, Red Drum Tackle has been welcoming fishermen to Hatteras Island with a wide selection of bait and tackle, skilled custom rod builds, rod and reel repair, expert knowledge and information since 1974. Red Drum Tackle knows how, when, and where to fish. To acquire this fishing brain power, visit them online at reddrumtackle.com. Red Drum Tackle, the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras and the closest to Cape Point in Buxton.
All right, we'll talk about backcountry. I do want to take a moment to thank everybody for tuning in, and glad to have you aboard. I'm thankful for the people that helped this happen, which is my company, One Boat Inc. Not my company, but my team that I work with at One Boat Inc. in Manio, and they've been great to me and for me. Justin Bateman, also really good as he puts these podcasts together. So let me tell you, the backcountry, in case you don't know, is what we're mostly talking about now is the Pamlico Sound, 120 miles long, 30 miles across. It's basically a little ocean. It's not really even all that little, but it's not deep. It might, I don't know if it gets to 30 feet anywhere or not, but mostly it's 12 to 15 feet deep, and sometimes a lot shallower than that, with some big shoals and things of that nature. And the drum bite's what's going on now. So I talked to Gray Davis briefly. Gray lives right down the street from me in Hyde County, and he has his business, Hyde Guides. He's a backwaters guide and does a really good job. And without pumping him for too much information, he just said fishing is excellent in the Sound. And I saw some pictures of some nice drum, catch and release red drum. And then I talked to some of the crew from Teach's Lair and Hatteras Harbor over on the opposite side of the Sound, the eastern side, and they have been doing real good on bluefish, red drum with a lot of the smaller drum in their catches, puppy drum, and speckled trout. And that's the same thing we've been talking about right on. But the bite is good. I saw the catches, especially on the bluefish yesterday. Several folks had 20, 25 bluefish, and they're like those 3-pounders. So you say bluefish, up in Jersey, we don't like them. Well, let me tell you something. These are 2 to 3 pound bluefish. They're down here in this our water, and I would give anything to have a few fresh bluefish that were iced down properly, filleted and skinned, and then I would fry them up. And they're really good that way. They're also really good to make fish cakes out of, if that's something you're interested in. But the biggest thing they are is a crowd pleaser, because what everybody wants when they go fishing is a bite. They want a bite. And especially if you got kids, you want a big drum. You might want a sow trout, but them kids want the pole to bend. And so they're happy to catch those bluefish. And that's pretty much the long and the short of it in the backcountry. Don't forget, next week we'll be working our way towards the tournaments at Pirates Cove, which will include the Alice Kelly tournament, which is a one-day ladies-only billfish release tournament, and then the 4 days of the Pirates Cove billfish tournament. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be over the whole time, and as we go through next week, I'll have some information here on how you can participate, or how you can listen to our live audio, where I'll be talking to the captains all through the day and scoring, making a record of every billfish that's released during that tournament. It's pretty cool. We're one of only 2 tournaments that I know of on the East Coast that have that technology. So more information on that next week. Go out and wet a line if you get a chance. Count your many blessings, and I hope God is good to you today.